With the latest equipment, unbeatable service, and a passion for helping to produce big-scale, complex events, Atomic Lighting has ascended to be the entertainment industry's premier lighting company. They've got a client list that's a who's who in the entertainment industry, from Billy Joel to the NFL, even the Television Emmy Awards. It was Atomic Lighting that lit the brilliance. Literally tons of equipment go on the road each week with Atomic Lighting. And they've chosen the TNER theatrical and concert hoist from Harrington to be their motor of choice. Recently, we sat down with Brett Pawlowski, Vice President of Operations at Atomic, who told us how critical the TNER is to his operation.
One thing we do here at Atomic is try to hold a very high standard in our equipment. Part of the reason why we started this company was because we were working with other companies on a freelance basis. I was, and one of the other partners, and we got to a point where we just kind of got fed up with all the failures of the equipment, and we're like, there's got to be a way to do it better. So we wanted to start our own thing and kind of pitch the idea, and it just turned into what it is today. We try to be pretty hands-on. Obviously, you can't do everything, so we rely on all of our employees. But we've set standards and set practices of how we want it to be done, and they just kind of follow through for us from there. So we rely on them. They're the people dealing with the equipment on a daily basis and making sure it goes out at the highest quality it can. We happened to get a phone call from our friends over at Claire that Harrington was going to do a demo for them, and they weren't sure it was going to fall within their wheelhouse, but it might be something we were interested in. And we weren't even familiar with them. Certainly we weren't familiar with the TNER product line. So we kind of just fell in our lap. And then the unusual part about it was that they were literally a couple miles down the road, which we would have never anticipated. So we got into the TNERs and used them for a tour that we had going out in the beginning of 2014. So we purchased a bunch of TNERs to put on that tour to see, how they held up on the road, and everything's been great with them so far. I cannot complain. Well, we started the business thinking that our core business was going to be special event television, but it definitely has evolved. We started the business shortly prior to everything with 9/11, and that kind of changed the industry a lot. So our business has evolved. We do a lot of special event television work. We do a lot of what we consider one-off business, a concert that's a one-night show. We do some touring. It's not our primary focus. And we do some rentals to other companies or just clientele that have their own personnel but need the gear to do the show. There's certain designers that we have relationships with that, if at all possible, would prefer to use us for every event they have. And then there's just our sales staff has relationships with production managers of events or other lighting designers, or sometimes it's even personnel that are hired to execute the setup and run the lighting and everything else that will suggest using us because they prefer to use us. I think we want to keep growing so we can service more clients, but I think it's a fine line as well, because we want to make sure we don't want to grow so big that we lose control of what we got going on, and we can't keep up the standards that we set forth. And for me, I think there's a fine line of being able to keep that and grow. You can't just grow exponentially and hold up with that. There's a lot of you got to find good people that can be here and work with us and take care of the equipment, or it's just not going to work out.